This cool old metal tank chart chimney guy was found on a ranch. It's about 3 feet tall and a foot wide. The finder thought it was a cooking device or a tractor engine. What is it? It's an orchard heater, also known as a smudge pot. These were used for many decades in fruit orchards and vineyards to prevent frost damage to the blossoms and young fruit. The pot at the bottom would be filled with a heavy oil or diesel fuel, which was then lit. The heater produced a large amount of heat and, importantly, a thick cloud of smoke, smudge. This smoke would form a blanket over the orchard, trapping the radiant heat from the ground and keeping the air temperature around the trees just above freezing on a cold, clear night. This hinge thing was found in an old shop or barn. It's pretty solid and heavy, the size of a hand, and made of metal. What is it? This looks a lot like a flat belt lacing tool for old-line shaft-powered tools and machinery. In the age of steam and early electricity, factories used a system of overhead rotating shafts and flat leather belts to power all the machines. When a leather belt broke or needed to be made into a loop, the two ends were joined together with metal lacing or hooks. A tool like this one would be used to press those metal lacing hooks into the ends of the leather belt, preparing them to be joined with a pin. It's a specialized tool from the Industrial Revolution era. This is a vintage, heavy thing with a mirror inside and doors, shutters to cover or expose it. It was found at a university surplus store with other science-related stuff. The mirror looks prismatic, and twisting knobs on the side closes the doors. What is it? This could be a part of an old spectrophotometer, specifically the monochromator, or the sample compartment, with an adjustable aperture. A spectrophotometer is an instrument that measures the intensity of light. This component, with its prism-like mirror, likely a diffraction grating, and adjustable shutters, the doors, would be used to select a specific wavelength of light and to control the amount of light that passes through a sample. It is a core component from a classic piece of analytical chemistry laboratory equipment. What is this stuff in the yard? It looks like tiny plastic pellets. This is in southeast Michigan, in an area where the salty brine drains from a sump pump and has killed the grass. The commenter is guessing it is water softener resin. This is very likely correct. A water softener works by a process of ion exchange, using a bed of thousands of tiny plastic-like resin beads. As hard water passes through these beads, the calcium and magnesium ions that cause hardness are exchanged for sodium ions. If the water softener's tank or internal mechanism fails, these small resin beads can be flushed out into the home's plumbing and discharged through the sump pump, ending up on the lawn. The salty brine from the softener's regeneration cycle would also explain why the grass is dead in that area. Found in a collection of tools, this is the size of a drill bit with a threaded tip. A bolt screw can be loosened, and the piece with measurements can be replaced. This piece also has a spike that faces the tip. What is it? This is an adjustable diameter auger bit, also known as an expansive bit. It is designed for drilling large diameter holes in wood, typically with a hand brace. The central threaded tip is the feed screw, which pulls the bit into the wood. The main cutting edge is on the main body of the bit, but the adjustable and replaceable part is a second cutter that can be slid in or out to change the diameter of the hole being drilled. The measurements on it would indicate the hole size. The spike is the cutting spur that scores the outside of the hole for a clean cut. This is a light, rubbery thing with a hole through it. What is it? This is pretty sure to be the support or stand for a spherical webcam, maybe an old Logitech one. In the early 2000s, Logitech and other companies made several popular webcams that were shaped like a small sphere or an eyeball. These often came with a flexible, rubbery stand like this one. The webcam would sit in the cradle of the stand, and the flexible base could be bent and shaped to sit on top of a bulky CRT monitor or a flat surface. This plastic pointy thing with a loop at the end was found on a friend's bathroom shelf. What is it? It goes inside a finger brush. A finger brush is a type of small brush where the bristles are set into a base that you slip over your finger, often used for scrubbing nails or for applying certain products. This pointy plastic piece with a loop is the internal frame or core of such a brush. The bristles would be attached to this core, which would then be inserted into a softer, more comfortable outer sleeve that the user would wear on their finger. The loop at the end would be for hanging it to dry. This heavy, small, metal-pronged object was found in a river. A nearly identical one was found that had a wider base. What is it? This is the weight from an old wooden golf club. In the era of persimmon wood drivers and fairway woods, club makers would often insert a weighted metal plate into the sole of the club head. This was done to lower the club's center of gravity, which helped to get the ball airborne and to add mass to the head for more powerful shots. This pronged metal object would have been set into the wooden club head, with the prongs providing a secure anchor. It is a piece of vintage golf club technology. A mystery from Goodwill, this ceramic object fits in the hand. It has a large hole at the tapered end and a rubber stopper at the bottom with small holes around it. Inside is another layer with small holes. It seems too small to be a practical plant waterer. What is it? Google Lens found this one. It is a Himalayan salt inhaler pipe. To use it, you place coarse chunks of Himalayan pink salt inside the ceramic body. You then place your mouth on the tapered end and inhale deeply. The theory is that as the air is drawn over the salt, it picks up microscopic salt particles, which are then inhaled into the respiratory system. This practice, known as halotherapy, is claimed to have various health benefits, such as cleansing the respiratory system and reducing inflammation, though its medical effectiveness is debated. This is a robust line with heavy metal, cylindrical, jointed, and threaded ends marked R and L. What is this for? This is the IKEA Dignitet curtain wire. It is a stainless steel curtain rod system. Instead of a rigid pole, it uses a thin, strong steel cable that is held under tension between two wall or ceiling-mounted brackets. The heavy metal ends are the tensioning and mounting hardware. This system is very versatile and can be used for hanging curtains in tricky spaces, like in corners or on long, straight runs. The R and L likely refer to the right and left-hand threaded components used to tighten the wire. These blue plastic items with the sliding piece were a gift for a cat, but the owners have no idea how to use them. They are 10 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. What are they for? This is a BGZLEU cat claw-shaped cat strip squeeze spoon. It's a specialized feeding spoon for a very popular type of cat treat that comes in a tube, like churu or delectables. You place the open end of the treat tube into the slot of the spoon. The sliding piece is then used to push the treat paste up and out of the tube onto the spoon for the cat to lick. This allows for a cleaner, more controlled way to feed these liquid treats without the cat biting the package or making a mess. Found in an old barn on a property, this object is made of metal and glass soldered together. It's pretty heavy for its size. What is this piece of high-power electronics? It's a high-power vacuum tube with a forced air cooling radiator. This is the kind of powerful tube that was used in early high-power radio transmitters, early radars, or in industrial heating applications. The main part is the vacuum tube itself. Because it generated an immense amount of heat, it is integrated with a large, finned metal radiator. A fan would have been used to blow air through these fins to keep the tube from overheating. The link shows a similar, albeit simpler, example. It is a fascinating piece of vintage, high-power electronic technology. This is an abandoned concrete box in the backyard. It's small, about 14 by 10 inches, and only about 8 inches deep. It was covered by an old washing machine door. What was its purpose? This looks like the utility box or curb box, where the main water shutoff valve for the house would be located. This valve is typically located near the property line, at the point where the home's water service line connects to the main water line under the street. The concrete box provides access to this valve for the homeowner or the water utility to shut off the water to the entire house in case of a major leak or for plumbing repairs. It would originally have had a heavy metal or concrete lid. This is a finger-sized black leather sheath. It has leather straps to tie it closed. The tip is fringed, so the end is hollow. It was found in the grass when mowing. What is it? Hey, I finally get to answer one. This is a decoration for a motorcycle lever. It's a leather cover that goes over the clutch or brake lever on the handlebars of a motorcycle, especially a cruiser or a chopper. The leather straps are used to lace it tightly onto the lever, and the long fringe at the end is a classic decorative element in that style of motorcycle customization, blowing in the wind as the bike goes down the road. It's a piece of biker flair. My wife found these while going through her crafting supplies. They are about 5 inches long and made of plastic. We both recognize them, but can't remember what they are. What are they? They're Elsie Stix. The commenter has a great memory. These were the plastic handles from the kinds of stick-mounted ice cream bars made by Borden's Ice Cream in the 1970s, which had Elsie the cow as their mascot. While other companies used wood sticks, Borden's used these distinctive, interlocking plastic sticks. The idea was that if you saved enough of them, you could use them as a construction toy to build all kinds of nifty little structures. Eventually, they even started selling just the sticks in big packages for arts and crafts programs. This is a hard, rock-like object with tons of imprints of screws in flat round shapes. It weighs a little less than a rock of the same size and is almost plastic-like, but not quite. What is it? Yeah, that's cool. This looks like a natural cast of crinoid fossils. Crinoids, also known as sea lilies, are marine animals that were very abundant in ancient oceans. Their skeletons were made of many small, disc-like calcite plates that looked like small, round discs, or star shapes, the flat, round shapes. When a large number of these skeletal fragments accumulated on the seafloor, they could form a limestone rock. In this case, the original fossils have been dissolved away by groundwater, leaving behind a natural mold or cast of their shapes in the surrounding rock. This is a thumb-sized, 3D printed wedge from a cat adoption goodie bag. It has the shelter's logo on it. It could be a keychain, but why make it come to a sharp scraper edge? This is probably for helping to open the pull tabs on cans of wet cat food. The small metal pull tabs on these cans can sometimes be difficult to get a finger under and can be hard on the fingernails. This 3D printed tool, with its sharp, scraper-like edge, would be used to get under the tab and provide leverage to pull it up, making it much easier to open the can. It's a simple, thoughtful, and practical little gadget for a cat owner and a great item for a shelter to include in an adoption kit. This wooden contraption hangs in a shelf. It has 2 thin slots, 2 T-shaped slots, and 2 apostrophe carvings. It's about 24 inches wide. The T's will hold a single wine glass stem upside down. What is it for? This might be a specialized holder for the attachments of a food processor or a stand mixer. These appliances come with a variety of blades, discs, and beaters. A custom-made wooden holder like this one would be a neat way to store them. The T-shaped slots might hold the stem of a disc for slicing or shredding. The thin slots could hold flat beater blades or dough hooks. While it's not a standard commercial product, it looks like a clever homemade solution for organizing a specific set of kitchen appliance accessories. What are these structures that were found on a friend's property in Malibu after a fire cleared the brush? How far from the coast are they? These might be leftover structures from World War II. During the war, the coast of California was heavily fortified against a potential Japanese attack. Numerous concrete observation posts, spotter structures, and gun emplacements were built along the coastline, often on high ground with a good view of the ocean, like in the Malibu Hills. These structures would have been used by coastal artillery units to spot enemy ships and direct gunfire. After the war, many were simply abandoned and became overgrown, only to be rediscovered after a wildfire clears the vegetation. Found with some old rucking gear, this has a loop that is clearly a cinch, but what is the metal T at the end for? This is normally for luggage and is called an add-a-bag strap. The main loop of the strap is cinched around the handle of a smaller bag, like a briefcase or a purse. The metal T, or a hook at the end, is then attached to your main, larger rolling suitcase. This allows you to connect a second bag to your main luggage, so you can walk through the airport, pulling both bags with one hand. It's a very common and convenient travel accessory. Found under a wardrobe in a new flat, this almost looks like a box within a box with slits in the top. It measures about 20 cm long and was filled with a clear liquid that tasted salty and like bleach, and it dried out the finder's hands. What is it? This sounds exactly like a disposable moisture absorber or dehumidifier box, such as those made by Damprid or similar brands. These are used in closets, basements, or other damp spaces to absorb excess humidity from the air. The top chamber contains hygroscopic crystals, often calcium chloride, which pull moisture from the air. As they absorb moisture, they dissolve and drip as a salty brine, the liquid, into the bottom collection chamber. This liquid is a chemical irritant, which explains why it tasted bad and dried out the finder's hands. Found in a school lab, there were a couple of them. A metal part is embedded in styrofoam. It does not look threaded. The metal part is likely in the styrofoam for protection during transport. These are gas parts, specifically orifices or jets, that go in a pressure regulator for a gas line, such as for a Bunsen burner. The different sizes of the orifice set the maximum flow rate of the gas. They are used to limit the gas flow for safety or to calibrate an instrument. For example, you would use a different sized orifice for natural gas than for propane to get the same flame characteristics. The styrofoam is simply protective packaging to keep these small precision parts from getting lost or damaged. Found while cleaning the shop, these are plastic, with 3 pieces per bag and 4 bags total. They look like some kind of latch. The finder can't think of anything they have purchased that they would go to. Do you own a boat? This is part of a pontoon boat gate latch kit. Pontoon boats have fences around the perimeter with 1 or more hinged gates for boarding. This plastic latch is a very common type used to keep those gates securely closed. The 2 main parts are mounted on the gate and the fence post, and the 3rd piece is the striker that engages the latch. The link provided shows a very similar model and a picture of it in action on a pontoon boat gate. This is a small metal fist, less than ½ an inch long. What does it represent? This is the fig hand gesture, also known as the mano fico. It is an ancient gesture with diverse meanings worldwide. In some cultures, like in Portugal and Brazil, it is a symbol of good fortune and is used as a good luck charm to ward off the evil eye. However, in many other parts of the world, including Italy, Russia, and many Slavic countries, it is a rude, vulgar, or insulting gesture, similar in meaning to giving someone the middle finger. It is a potent little symbol with a very split personality. This 3 to 4 inch magnetic thing was found in a phone case. What is it? Is it a MagSafe magnet? This is likely the ring of magnets that has come unglued from the inside of a MagSafe compatible phone case. Apple's MagSafe system uses a circular array of magnets in both the iPhone and the case to allow for easy attachment of accessories like wireless chargers, wallets, and mounts. The commenter notes this happened to their OtterBox case, and they had to superglue it back in. It is the core component that makes the case compatible with the MagSafe ecosystem. These are 2 metal rings, one smaller than the other, joined by a chain. The finder thinks they're rings and found them with other accessories. What are they? This looks more like a stylish keyring or one of those decorative things that dangles off a backpack or a purse, but it's missing the main toy or charm. The larger ring would be for attaching your keys or for clipping it onto a bag's zipper pull. The smaller ring and chain would have held a decorative charm, a plush toy, a logo, or some other ornamental element. That main decorative part has broken off and been lost, leaving only the basic hardware behind. This recently popped up at work. The black things are pumps, and the silver tanks and blue hoses are part of the system. What is this for? This is a portable, high-capacity water filtration and pumping system. The black things are heavy-duty water pumps. The blue hoses are the intake and discharge lines. The large silver vessels are the filter housings. Next to the setup, you can see a row of used sediment filter bags. This type of system is used for dewatering, pumping large volumes of water out of a flooded area, a construction site, or a pond, while filtering out sediment, sludge, and other contaminants before the water is discharged into a storm sewer or a waterway. This 360-degree rotating thing has a clamp, a brake, and 3 posts for leveling. It was with a grandpa's stuff, who was an electrical engineer. It was found with drafting equipment, microscopes, and camera equipment. What is it? This looks like the base for a surveyor's transit or level. A transit is a precision optical instrument used for measuring horizontal and vertical angles. This is the tribrac, or leveling base, that the main instrument would be mounted on. The 3 posts are the leveling screws, used to make the instrument perfectly level, which is critical for accurate measurements. The clamp and brake would be for locking the instrument's rotation. It's a fundamental part of any high-precision surveying or optical alignment setup. These are solid steel, slightly magnetic, and almost 3 to 4 inch in diameter. They were found in a bag of sailboat lines. They look a lot like a snap fastener kit, but don't seem to be part of one. What are they? These are anvils for setting grommets, eyelets, or snaps. When you install a metal grommet or a snap into a piece of canvas, like a sail cover on a sailboat, you need a setting tool and an anvil. The anvil is this small, solid metal base. You place the grommet on the anvil, put the fabric over it, and then use a punch and a hammer to set the grommet. The different shaped divots on the anvil are for different sizes and parts of the grommet, or snap. Their discovery with sailboat lines is a perfect fit. This 4G, 1 to 2 inch gray metal and plastic item was found in a driveway. The lettering says U76. What is it? It's an orifice or a piston from an old HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning unit. In an air conditioning system, a metering device is needed to control the flow of refrigerant into the evaporator coil. In many older residential systems, this was done with a simple fixed orifice, a small brass fitting with a precisely drilled hole in it, often housed in a plastic carrier like this one. It is a critical component for the proper functioning of the refrigeration cycle. This one was likely from an old AC unit that was replaced. This scoop-shaped metal thing is behind the rear seats of a 2006 Dodge Dakota. What is its purpose? A YouTube video confirms it. This is for the middle seat belt, which looks like it was removed in this truck. On some older trucks and SUVs with a 3-person rear bench seat, the center seatbelt would be routed from a retractor in the ceiling or the back of the cab. This scoop-shaped metal or plastic guide, mounted on the cab wall behind the seat, was used to guide the seatbelt webbing and position the shoulder belt correctly over the occupant of the middle seat. Found on the windowsill in an office, this is a plastic object about 6 inches long. It weighs 30 grams, and the cone thing at the end is screwed in so it can come out. What is it? This is likely the handle for a duster, probably one left behind by the cleaning staff. Many commercial cleaning systems use interchangeable handles and heads. This would be the handle, and the threaded cone at the end is where a duster head, perhaps a feather duster, a microfiber duster, or a high duster for reaching ceilings, would be screwed on. Its simple plastic construction and threaded end are very characteristic of professional cleaning tools. This small plastic spring-loaded ball is located at the bottom of the jamb for a front door. What is it for? Could be a switch for an alarm or a light. This is a type of plunger or ball switch. When the door is closed, it presses the spring-loaded ball in, which either opens or closes an electrical circuit. This could be used for a home security system to signal that the door has been opened. Or it could be a switch for a closet light, so that the light automatically turns on when the door is opened and turns off when it is closed. Checking for any wires behind it would confirm its electrical nature. On this bottle opener, what is the other side for? The main part is a standard bottle opener, but what is the metal part on the other side for? It's definitely uncovered and looks like it's made for something specific. This is for popping open can tabs. Before the modern stay-on pull tab was invented, many beverage cans had pull tabs, or ring pulls, that were completely removed from the can. Sometimes, these could be hard to get a finger under. The small, hooked piece of metal on the other end of this bottle opener was designed to be slipped under the ring of the pull tab, providing leverage to easily lift it and open the can. It's a feature from a specific era of beverage can technology. What is this dangly chain coming from an air vent in an older home? Each vent has one. The chain should open and close the vent. In older HVAC systems, especially those with floor or wall registers, the airflow into a room was controlled by a small lever, or a chain like this one, which was connected to a damper inside the vent. A damper is a metal flap that can be opened or closed to regulate the flow of air. By pulling the chain, the user could adjust the damper to get more or less heat or cool air. As the commenter notes, Given the age, the flow damper mechanism may be rusted or broken and no longer function. Hanging down from the roof at a Moroccan train station, this looks thin, fluffy, and possibly like a dead rodent. What is this strange, dangling object? The commenter suspects this is meant to be on the other side of the ceiling and is a support for the white decorative structure. The part that looks like an animal is probably a chunk of the ceiling plaster that has come out along with the bolt and wire that was supposed to be holding up the decorative panel. In many buildings in Morocco, ceilings are adorned with intricate carved plasterwork. This is likely a failed anchor point for one of those decorative panels, with the fluffy part being insulation or debris from above the ceiling. These are small metal pieces in a plastic container found in a parking lot. A banana-flavored tape measure is used for scale. What are they for? Oh, the commenter knows exactly what those are. They are for a little dude called Shake Your Feet Happily. It is a small, desk-sized figurine or toy. These small metal pieces are different magnetic facial features, eyes, mouths, mustaches, etc. You can place them on the toy's face, and they are held in place by magnets, allowing you to create a variety of different funny expressions. The plastic container is for keeping all the small magnetic parts organized. It's a simple, creative desk toy. Found in a sewing kit, these are two lightweight wooden items with slots that seem to be for hanging them on the wall. They are smaller than a hand. What are they? These are likely handmade quilt rack supports. A quilt rack is a small, freestanding, or wall-mounted piece of furniture used to display a quilt or a blanket. These two wooden pieces would be the wall-mounted brackets. A wooden dowel or rod would be placed between them, resting in the curved slots. The quilt would then be draped over this dowel for display. Their handmade appearance and discovery in a sewing kit are a perfect fit for this identification. This is a stiff, foam-covered, bat-like thing, approximately 40 centimeters in length. It's squishy, but relatively stiff. Reverse image search returns only blue baseball bats. What is it? This is a massage stick, also known as a muscle roller stick. It's a self-massage tool used to work out muscle soreness and knots. It typically consists of a semi-rigid core around which several foam or plastic rollers are placed, with handles on each end. The user holds the handles and rolls the stick with firm pressure over their muscles, such as on their legs, back, or arms. This helps to release muscle tension, improve circulation, and aid in recovery after a workout. The link shows a similar example. This silver license plate-like object was found embedded in the mud in Philadelphia. What is it? It's a rat trap, specifically a glue trap or glue board. This is a type of pest control trap that consists of a tray, often made of plastic or metal like this one, that is coated with an extremely sticky adhesive. The trap is placed in an area where rodents are active. When a rat or a mouse runs onto the trap, it gets stuck in the glue and is unable to escape. It's a common, if somewhat controversial, method of pest control. These are two small plastic K-shaped clips, a few cm in size. What are they? I'm not sure about the exact scale here, but I've seen similar pieces that snap onto the center front of swimming goggles. These would be part of the interchangeable nose bridge system. Many modern swimming goggles come with several different sized nose pieces to allow the user to customize the fit for the width of their eyes. These small K-shaped clips would be one of those nose bridge options, designed to snap into the goggle frames and connect the two eyepieces. This unusual plastic item, approximately 25 cm long, was found in a garage. What is it? This looks like one of the legs from an Amazon Basics brand monitor stand. These simple, inexpensive stands are designed to raise a computer monitor up off the desk surface to a more ergonomic height. They typically consist of a flat top platform and 4 simple screw-in or snap-in plastic legs like this one. Its discovery in a garage is not surprising, as these are common office accessories that might be stored or discarded there. This large, suspended ball with a see-through cover was seen at horse stables in Grassau, Bavaria. The finder thought it might be a horse feeder or a salt lick. What is it? This is an H-trap, a specialized and very effective type of fly trap, specifically for horseflies. Horseflies are attracted to large, dark, moving objects, which they mistake for a potential host animal. The large, black ball in the trap absorbs heat from the sun and moves slightly in the wind, attracting the flies. When they land on the ball and find it's not a source of food, their natural instinct is to fly upwards. They are then funneled by the see-through cone into the collection chamber at the top, from which they cannot escape. This is a flathead metal pin, jart nail, with a white plastic cap where the pointy end should be. It's 20 millimeters long and was found with sewing stuff. What is it? This is a tooth from a hairbrush. Many hairbrushes have bristles made of a metal pin that is topped with a small, rounded plastic or epoxy cap. This cap provides a smooth, comfortable tip that won't scratch the scalp. Over time, these individual bristle assemblies can become loose and fall out of the brush's cushioned pad. Its discovery with sewing stuff is likely just a coincidence, as it's a very common item to find loose around a house. What is this hanging rack? It's about 20 inches tall, with the bottom shelf being 4 inches deep, the middle 3 inches deep, and the top 2 inches deep. It has a single screw hole at the top. This is a wall-mounted rack for holding rolled-up towels. It would be mounted on a bathroom wall. The design, with its progressively smaller shelves or tiers, is for storing rolled bath towels, hand towels, and washcloths in a neat, vertical display. The largest towels would go on the bottom, the medium ones in the middle, and the smallest ones on top. It's a space-saving and decorative way to store and display towels in a bathroom, similar in function to the linked example. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.